Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Conversations with Pucho. Today, I'm going to share with you an experience that I had when I was younger in Puerto Rico. Uh, I don't know how old I was. I don't know if I was like 11, 12 years old. And my mom went over there. We went to this place in Aguas Buenas. And it was basically like the campos, the montes, like the jungle, basically. One house here, and then if you're lucky, there's another house not too far away, type of stuff, and like a lot of land and stuff like that. So we went to my aunt's house to visit her, and she lived in this house that was surrounded by the jungle. Basically, like she had a large piece of land, and then across the street, there's a street and there's cars that pass by and stuff like that, but very scarcely. Like you're lucky if you see like three cars every hour, type of stuff pass by. You know, and well, there were like giant lizards there, like giant iguanas. Not as well, pretty big. Not as big as Komodo dragons. Like those carnivorous ones, but pretty big. But they're not carnivorous. They don't really have teeth or anything like that. They just they have some kind of little spiky teeth, yeah, but not like Komodo dragons. Not at all. Not even close. Anyway, so that day that my mom picked to go there, like when nighttime reached, I was with my cousins and stuff, and nighttime reached, and we had to go in. And got dark, and I noticed that my aunt put a statue, a big statue, outside the entrance of the door of Mary, Virgin Mary, and uh, and I'm wondering what's going on. So we go inside, and they're like praying the rosary, right? And they're making this prayer. For those people that don't know, that are not Catholics, or I'm just believing God. That's when I was younger because I was raised like that. But I just pray to God, and that's it. I don't pray to nothing else, just God. You know. But at that time, yeah, like I have to listen to my mom and do what they're teaching me, what they're doing. So that's a good, respectful boy. So anyway, so they're doing the rosary praying, and for you guys that don't know what that is, it's like you have the rosary beads, and then it's like an enchantment, like an incantation towards the Virgin Mary, and they keep saying the same prayer over and over. Like they'll say her prayer, and then like they'll say Our Father who art in heaven like one time, and then they'll say her prayer like 10 times, like a whole incantation. Basically, that's to protect the place, protect the house, like and all that stuff. So I was getting a little bit scared because I'm wondering what's going on. And it's time to go to sleep, and then my aunt is saying this story to my mom that at that night, every year on that night, there's always like this horse that comes, and you hear the horse like tukutung 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 tukutung, and like some like wild dogs, wolves, like also in the background. And this horse would go to the front of the house and like basically like try to go in. That's why they put the statue of the Virgin Mary there, and they made that incantation. But of course, to Catholics, it's a prayer. But to me, that's the equivalent of incantation. No disrespect, that's my belief. But anyway, right? So, um, that night, like, actually, I went to sleep with my cousins, and it was a big queen size bed, and it was the three of us there, all guys, and then like I had this bad feeling when I went to sleep. When I went to sleep, and my cousins, like, they were knocked out, and they were snorers. They were like snoring, like, and I still couldn't fall asleep, and I was laying down already for like an hour. And then Closed my eyes, trying to go to sleep, and then something pulled my sheets from, where my feet were, like pulled them off, slowly pulled them off, little by little, and it's coming off. And I'm like, what's this? And I got my eyes closed, and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then I just get up real quick, like not stand up, but like sit up from the bed and grab the sheets and cover myself right back, right? And then cover myself back, and I'm like, God, 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 please, God, 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 God. And then all of a sudden, again, the sheets are coming off. And then I just sit back up again, whoosh, grab the sheets. So it's like a game. And I grab the sheets and cover myself up again. And then again, and I sit up again, and I look at my cousins. And like they're both sleeping next to me, right? So there's no way that they could pull my sheets if they're sleeping next to me and they're knocked out snoring. So I'm like, oh God. So in one of the times, like, I kept sitting up and putting it back up. And one of the times, it pulled the sheets like hard and fast. Like they didn't come fully off because I was holding on and I had it behind my head, but it like pulled me, and just, that's how strong it is. Like pulled me, and just the sheets came off and went to my knees. And I was like, oh God. And then when I looked, I saw this dark, like shadow is a shadow. A shadow like the shape of a person on the corner. And the thing about it is that, like, I could tell the whole, like, even though it's a shadow, you could tell like what it was. Like it was like a person, tall, like it must have been like at least 7 foot or something, tall. And it looked like it was like wearing like a long, one of those long coats that detectives use, one of those type of coats. And also the hat, like the sort of like the sombrero type of hat that detectives use, at that time, and all that stuff. So it looked like a detective, like Dick Tracy, basically, but it's just the shadow, the silhouette. But there was one caveat though. The eyes. You could see the eyes. The eyes were wide open looking at me. And they were not regular eyes. They were red. Redder than the red you see behind me. Red. In the pitch black. You could still see the silhouette of the shadow because there was a window, and like, the light or whatever, like somehow, some way, whatever light there was, like you could see the actual silhouette. And it was smoking a cigar. I could not smell the cigar, but I could see it go like, and I could see it spark like when you take a pull, like you could see the flame, like when you take a pull, and the eyes were burning red, right? And I just couldn't do anything, so I just grabbed the sheets, put them back over me, and I'm like, God, 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 please help me, please help me, please help me. And I think it did it like two more times, and I'm just there looking at it. But the thing about it is that it wouldn't move towards me. It would just stay on that corner by the window, but it would pull my sheets off, and I don't know why, but it was terrifying, right? So finally, like the last time, and I put the sheets on again, and I'm like, God, 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 and I finally like was left alone and fell asleep. And then the next day, I get up and I go and try to like, mom, 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 go to try and tell the story and stuff. Like they were talking and having a very serious conversation before I even got to say my part. And I'm like, what's going on? And they were talking about that evening they heard the wolves, the wild dogs in the background, and the horse galloping, tuk-tuk, 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 and it actually went to my aunt's door, the entrance, and it was there, and it couldn't go past it because the statue that they had there from the incantation they made, and the statue, the prayer they made, and the statue was like, I mean, the horse was like for like 3 hours. They said it would not leave the front of the door, and they were terrified just hearing the horse breathing on the door. So then I shared my story after I heard that. I was like, wow. And I was like super scared. And I shared my story, what happened. And then they like put two and two together, and they were like, yeah. And then my aunt said that's because the story behind all this is like there were three brother-in-laws. And one night they got drunk and they were fighting. I don't remember exactly what they were fighting over. If they was fighting over a girl or I don't know what it was. But they killed each other. And they were cursed, turned into dogs, wild dogs. And I don't know where the horse comes from, what the horse means. I don't remember what they said about the horse, you know. So yeah, this is a true story. It happened to me. And yeah, it does exist out there. All these evil things, these evil spirits, these demonic essences, spirits, demons, that all exists. But also goodness exists. And goodness, if you have faith and you believe in God, always prevail. But anyways, that is a story that happened to me. One of the scariest stories ever, and it wasn't an out of body experience. It wasn't like no sleeper paralysis. Really freaking scary, like too. So it's like I'm not even gonna say it wasn't that because that's like horrendous too. But yeah, it happened to me and it happened in real life. And thank you for joining me. That's another story, a spiritual story. Here at Conversations with Pucho, and I'll get back to you guys with another video soon. Please share, like, and subscribe, and be blessed.